Hey, look, it's my voice. Wow. So much worse than the music. Yeah, I just... thought I'd switch to voice because there's been a bit since I've actually talked during this. At least a few episodes of it. Oop, did not mean F1. Like, loving this new truck. And while I'm remembering, let me hop over here and... well, I'm gonna turn down the music. I am going to turn up the master volume to like maybe 30. Just as a general thing. Okay, that is way too loud. We'll turn it up to 10. Just so you, when I do have music on and stuff, you can hear the truck noises and stuff. Because I do think the truck noises sound really nice. rain stopped. Nice little truck. Now with a bunch of fucking lights. Which, granted, I'm not even sure how to turn, like, the top lights on. But I'm sure I can figure it out, because they make life a lot easier. We'll figure it out when I need them. I'll just look at the controls. I don't actually need to grab fuel on this, in this trip, though I will on the next trip. So we'll have like 500 left, or give or take, after this trip. Very pretty cloudy sky. Where even am I right now? I'm in, what, Poland? Cool. $13. Woo. I'm gonna eventually end up upgrading all the trucks I get as well. Like, this is gonna be a long series. And I'm perfectly okay with that, because it means I should always have something to put up, which is what I want. Not even sure how many this has been, it's just... My roommate comes back, I'll switch back to music, so... The reason the music thing is going on is because, I'm really only using the music and stuff when, like, my roommate's here or I can't otherwise record something else. And I want to record other things as well. So a lot of the time, if I can record something else, like, because I need to talk for other things, I'm recording those other things. So hopefully the music isn't too, like, annoying or anything. It's probably less annoying than my voice. I'm just rambling on and on about stuff. Been a few times when I've worried, oh, people are going to think I'm insane for how I play this game. Well, they give the options, they do all this stuff, and I have the most fun with this game when it's not bullshitting me. So, this is how I play it. I might turn on, I'm not turning on traffic, is the thing. Because a grand majority of the time, the traffic is just so stupid and will run into you, even if you're driving perfectly normal. And I just don't find that fun. If they were realistically smart, I would have them on. But they're not. And also, even if I had traffic on, I would still have fences off. Because traffic and plus offenses are what makes me dislike this game sometimes. Because they'll run into you when you did literally nothing wrong from any stretch of the imagination as well. Just like, And like the blame everyone but yourself thing. You did literally nothing wrong. You're just driving as you should be, and they just smack you. And suddenly, you get hit by a big old fine because apparently traffic offense, and you're to blame for it, even though you're not. And not only that, but also you have to, if they hit your truck, you have to also repair your truck, which is godly expensive. And then they can also damage your trailer, ruin a job you're doing by damaging your cargo, all of which is literally not your fault. That's not fun to me. You can sue me if you think it is. Because this game is fun without it. I do agree though that having both of them off is probably a little overkill, but I don't know. Once I started realizing I could just send it like this, I really started enjoying sending it like this. Even partially because it's the exact opposite way of how I drive in real life. I am like an obnoxiously cautious driver in real life. And frankly, I've been told by too many passengers to not know that I am. So, however it may be, we are absolutely fine. And even, I might turn fatigue system on at least. I've thought about that a few times, and probably will after a while, but while I'm getting started, I feel like I'm going to have it off because it's another one of those things that, oh, I think there's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes you just get fined and there's not a whole lot you could have done except have gone to sleep a lot earlier when you thought you were probably fine, and then it just doesn't give you a rest spot. No. Plus, I can't lie and say it isn't satisfying to just get there a lot earlier than the game expected me to. Like, it's fun to see. And it lets me play a little guessing game of where I'll actually get there with myself. Test myself, see if I can do stuff like that. Basically, time trial it. I don't know, it makes me really happy. It actually leads me into a different point that is somewhat to do with this entire thing, but, like, not fully. Like, let people enjoy games how they want to play them. Seriously. There's limits to that thought process, of course. But let me put it this way. If someone is like cheating or something in not a single player game, in a multiplayer game, that is definitely a line because that's against the rules and it makes things not fair. And it's a multiplayer game, specifically the stuff that's like PvP. Like if you're playing with a friend group and you just want to have something like that up, whatever, and no one else is online, stuff like that, if it's like co-op and you're just with friends, yada yada yada, whatever, right? But it's like, if it's a multiplayer game where you're going up against other people, that's definitely a line. But if you're like, if someone is cheating in a single player game, yelling at them for enjoying the game how they enjoy it, saying, like, quote unquote, I've seen this a lot, you're ruining the game for yourself, etc. No. They may have been, if you did it, it might be ruining the game for you, but if they're having fun like that, you're not going to change anything, you're just going to sound like a dick. I don't know. I'm a huge I'm a huge encourager of enjoy games how you want to enjoy them. Just don't try to ruin other people's experiences. If it's a multiplayer game, stuff like that. Like, I've seen too many things about someone who's, like, been kind of cheating in a game or wants to cheat in a game. And I've seen too many people just say, just like, don't, you'll just ruin the game for yourself, or lol, just play the game, or stuff like that. I've seen too much of that, and they're just asking a question. You can answer the question, even if the question is like, or the answer is just like, no, there's not something like that in the game. That is so much a better answer than just saying, lol, just play the game how I would play the game. Or, not literally, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I'm not the kind of person who would say that. But I've seen so many people who are, it irritates me. Just like people complaining at me, not personally, like, not over, what's it called? Not over the YouTube comments, because we don't ever get YouTube comments. I had a lot of people complain at me about how I play this game. Or how I play some roguelikes, like how I prefer to play stuff like Risk of Rain. It goes like that way as well, like stuff like Risk of Rain, what relics you prefer to have on. It's like, oh, you're making the game so easy, that's fucking easy mode. Whatever. It's the fun mode. And also, I can still play the game in the normal mode, nothing's stopping me. I just have completed the game, and I find this particular set of relics, yeah, it's pretty easy, but I find it fun. Or in, like, in some fighting games, playing a character who's arguably pretty bad, and having someone, like, grump at you, saying, oh, it's just yada yada yada. Whatever. I want to do this. Shish. I don't know. People make me rather upset sometimes. Just because, I don't know if there's lag, just because they seem to think that their way is the best way, when in reality, there's very few ways to do things, at least when it comes to gaming, that are genuinely the wrong way. And honestly, should be, as long as it's not hurting anybody, really should just fucking chill a little bit, you know? I'm usually pretty positive about games myself. I don't tend to complain about games I play. Okay, no, that's not quite right. I complain about most games I play, but I don't dislike the games. That's the thing. In my opinion, you really can't enjoy a game, for the most part, without disliking bits and pieces. You can be critical while still being positive, is mostly what it comes down to. Like, yeah, I have complaints about this game, certain mechanics and stuff, so I just don't play the game with them. Ooh, gotta hit the brakes there, because that is the turn what is it? No? Maybe? I think it is. I'm genuinely not sure. Let's see. I was talking too much. Did it want me to go down this way? I can back up if... Yeah, it did. Okay. Anyway. Let people play the game how they want, is basically what I'm saying. Let them play bad characters, let them play good characters, let them do their own thing without fucking judging them for it. Seriously. There's stuff I understand. That is not something I understand. Except I suppose it's just human nature in it. Because I like a lot of games. There's very few games that I dislike, like fully. And sometimes those games I really like genuinely dislike, I end up being an accidental contrarian because they end up being exceptionally popular. And I'm not even going to share what some of the games are on that list because I've had people really complain about me on that, and I'm not really ready to have someone complain at me about it over again, so you know what? Just not gonna deal with that. Like, I literally cannot think of a game that I love without gripes. Because I am a very critical person. I'm also a very positive person. They go hand in hand a little bit there. I don't know. Positivity is a good thing when it comes down to it. And if you're unable to see the good parts of a game within all of the stuff that you might not enjoy fully, if you just see the bad of a game, then really that's kind of just your loss. And if you only see the bad, you keep playing it. Motherfucker, play a different game. If you only see the bad, play a different game. Because there are good parts. If you're playing the game repeatedly, you obviously like the game. Or obviously there's something about it that you enjoy. If you can't see that, try playing a different game. Maybe you'll see it. Maybe when you come back, you'll either realize why you left, or you realized that this is something that you enjoy, and you're much more likely to see why. People test my sanity sometimes, which is a bit scary considering I didn't have much sanity to begin with. There's stuff I understand, and there's stuff I don't. Really, at the end of the day, even if I just griped about it for a while, you don't gotta listen to me on this stuff. But I'm just someone who really, really likes playing old games and is bringing that interest to a YouTube channel to try and have some more stuff of those games I love so much, like just up on the channel, and to try to give myself a reason to play these games I love so much again and finish them. Because I have a terrible tendency of not finishing games, and I kind of do want to change that. So yeah, I'm insane. I'm not exactly someone you should 100% be listening to, but I do have opinions on things. That is most definitely one of them. And I do want to say again, though, that just like cheating in multiplayer games, especially multiplayer games where it's like, I don't know, the shooters and stuff. I don't really play many shooters. Like cheating in those, I more than understand the gripes, because down to a certain point there does, at that point, it's fairness. And to be honest, a lot of my gripes that I even just went over are also at their core about fairness. It would be a little bit hypocritical to say, oh, this is fine, do what you want in these games, cheat if you want to in single player games, stuff like that, and then say that's because it's people want to enjoy the game that way, so it's only fair to let them enjoy the game in that way because it doesn't hurt anybody. And it's hypocritical for me to say that if I also say, oh, you can cheat in multiplayer games. Because if I said that, I would also be saying, oh, fairness, whatever. I care about fairness in these things. I'm a very rambly person. Until I'm not. I'm a rambly person until I either run out of things to ramble about, which is never, or until I'm focusing too hard to actually ramble, which is usually because my brain is very, very one track. I got a single processor, and it is trying its best. Just chugging right along. Whew. I knocked something over. Oops. I do appreciate that there's a gas station right there. I'll probably end up getting gas there before I like go off onto the next thing. And I'm also skipping that because that is a horrific entrance. Wow, an extra $500 from an urgent delivery, and also a level up. That I'm more happy about. So I got 2 on that. I'm gonna get 1 in the 2 of these. And then I'm gonna get all the ADR. apply it. I got 15 grand. Let's go. 2,000 kilometers on this guy already. Nice. So that says 1995. This says 2007. Whatever. I'm a little bit curious, so I'm actually going to check. These turns are not friendly. Let's see what they got here. That is a big, that's a nice big drive. Like, look at that. Regardless, I'll do that later. Just a bit of curiosity. It's like 180 grand or something to... Yeah, it's an upgrade. Upgrade just costs 180 grand. Yeah. Oh well. I'll get there eventually.